Hello everyone and welcome to the Rotary Wheel. My name is Sean McCartney and I'm the host of the Rotary Wheel. I am a proud Placerville Rotarian and currently serve as the Executive Director for the Boys and Girls Club here in El Dorado County. Today we are privileged to have with us Mr. Ed Mathews. Ed's a member of the Placerville Rotary and he's going to talk to us today about what Rotary means to him and some of the projects that have taken place over the past 40 some odd years here in Placerville. So Ed, thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to see you as always. Taking time out of your busy schedule?
Yes.
Well, do you have a golf match later today?
I do.
Well,
I do.
I hope you hit it straight.
It's part of my retirement program.
Well, retirement's a good thing. Speaking of retirement, what brought you to Placerville in the early 70s, sir?
Well, I was transferred here with Wells Fargo Bank. And 1972,
okay.
Brought my family up here, and you know, being new in the community, I was fortunate enough to be asked to join the Rotary Club. Rotary at that time was something that was quite an honor. It still is an honor, but to become a part of the community, meet a lot of great people, and get involved in the community events that they were taking, what were taking place at that time. But
well, super. I mean, my first exposure to Rotary was in the mid '80s. My father was running the Boys and Girls Club in Tracy, California, and he, like you, recognized the importance of what Rotary meant to the community, and so he joined, and I was able to see kind of firsthand the work that Rotary did in the community that I was a part of. Why don't you talk a little bit about kind of what, you just spoke to why you joined Rotary, but kind of talk about some of the projects that you were a part of. I think that would be important to share with folks, not only who know about Rotary, but maybe are, this is their first exposure to what Rotary means to the community that they exist in.
Well, of course, times have changed. And in the early years, our projects included things. We worked with the schools. Mm-hmm. We worked in the community. We did a lot of work up at the high school. We helped with, at that time, the building of a new football stadium.
All right.
And I remember one project was to put the lights up at the football stadium. And that would have been in the late 70s.
So no night games before that?
Before that, there were no night games.
All right.
And we got PG&E donated the poles. We had electricians in our club that helped with the wiring. We raised the money to buy some of the equipment. And those lights are the lights that are still there.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
So that was an early project. We did things like sowing poppy seeds up and down the highways. I don't know whether the poppies are still there or not, but that was
I couldn't tell you if the poppies are still there.
No, well, they're not there today because it's that time of the year.
Oh, fair enough.
But as time went on, we took on some ambitious projects.
And you were president, weren't you, Ed, at some point?
Well, 1979.
Okay.
I was president, and. It was, of course, I was much younger, and it was
not that much younger. Right?
It was quite an honor to lead the club because at that point there were a lot of fellas that were almost as old as I am now.
Okay, so I hear you. So you were a youngster leading the.
That's right.
The maybe more mature crowd.
That was a good way to look at it.
Okay.
But anyway. Those years, we made a lot of good friends, and we've kept those friends through Rotary. They're social friends. They're friends that I can count on.
Well, I know just in our interactions that when I speak with you, it's pretty evident that the Rotary Club and the friends that you've made in Rotary are really some of your truest and dearest buddies.
Yep.
And so I think that's a unintended benefit to Rotary maybe, but it's definitely something that we should be clear on. The one thing I think that is very special about Rotary is that you have all different types of of men and women that come together once a week for a common good, and then they're able to not only do good for the community, but then also develop lifelong friendships, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that is, especially in our busy and hectic lives today. I know that I really appreciate the opportunity to spend a Thursday evening with the gang and kind of catch up on what's going on, and then work together and do something good for everyone else.
Well, one of the things, Rotary is you're invited to become a Rotarian, and you're put into a classification. The classification, my classification was banking,
right, until
I retired, and I think it's financial services. That classification is reserved for me, but everybody in there has got a classification,
okay.
and we.
I believe mine's youth services.
Correct. Yeah, that sounds like it would be appropriate. But we have helped each other in our various. We've had in the past. We've had drugstore owners. We've had merchants of various kinds. Tire store owners, and so part of being in this group is to do business with your fellow Rotarians, and that's been something that's I've always appreciated, is the fact that you did business too. Now, a lot of the Rotarians are not in business. We've had school professionals. We've had well, I guess doctors can be in business because you have to go see them. But
I think it's probably an accurate statement.
Yeah.
I would say that doctors are
But
in
the
business.
classification is something that, we are encouraging people to become members of Rotary. And there are classifications open for just about everyone.
So our membership right now, Ed, is around 30? 45?
I think it's in the neighborhood of the high 30s.
Okay. I know that our new president, Mr. Jeff Thompson, is working hard to increase that number. We have a goal of adding about 15 new members, I believe, over the course of the next year.
Yep.
Excited about Jeff's role. I think he's doing a fine job as our new president. And,
well, each year a new president takes over. They bring new ideas.
Right.
Normally the president would have a specific project they want to accomplish this year, or during their year. Way back when I was president, my project was the putting of the flags in at the entrance to Placerville.
Okay.
And we put an American flag up and the California flag, and I think you see them along 50 as you come in. That entrance is a Rotary project.
Yeah,
the whole entrance.
That whole entrance is Placerville Rotary. Isn't that correct?
Yep, and we maintain it.
Great.
We pay for the ongoing maintenance of it, keeping the flowers planted and so forth, so that there's an attractive entrance.
Well, a neat project that
town.
we just completed pretty recently was the fair rehabilitation, where we did some painting, and I think that the work done there is just really outstanding. I mean, our fair was falling on hard times on the entryway, and so really looks a lot better. Don't you agree?
Oh yes, that was a good project. One of the things, we have a meeting every week, or a meeting scheduled. Most of the meetings are held at. We've been meeting at the Sequoia, and we have a dinner meeting there, and we'll have a speaker. And at times when we're working on a project, the meeting will be concentrating on what we're doing for the project. And I'll mention later on some of the projects we've been doing. We also have meetings where we go out and visit one of our members' place of business,
right.
and the meeting will be there. Or we go out and we have a work project, and that's what you're referring to. We just cleaned up and painted the entrance to the fair. We also, a couple of weeks ago, we were up at the far end of Placerville. A lot of people don't know, but up there there's a big "Welcome to Placerville" sign.
It's a little hidden.
It's a little hidden. We're hoping that Caltrans will help us by removing a few branches. But so the whole club was up there, and we worked, cleaned up the brush, and then we went to dinner afterwards. But that's in essence the things that we do at our meetings.
Yeah, and so we're going to have a meeting tonight where we're going to have a special guest, Mr. Brian Veerkamp, and that'll be nice to see Brian. Looking forward to hearing his conversations. One thing that I think is important that we share with the viewing audience is our kind of our fundraising activities, and then what we do with the money once we raise it. So we just completed a couple months ago had our Lobster on the River, and it was my first opportunity to go to Lobster on the River, and it was just a really fine event, and very impressed with. I mean, 550 people out there on the river, and why don't we talk a little bit about that event, and then also our Bon Voyage event, and then we'll circle back and talk about how we dole out those earnings.
Well, the reason for these events is to raise money, and it's a chicken and egg thing. You know? We have projects that we support, so the money. We have a target to raise X number of dollars so we can accomplish whatever our donation's going to be, or where we're going to spend the money. But excuse me, the Lobster, I think we've been doing that 7 or 8 years now. Excuse me. And the idea is that we have an arrangement with the Camp Coloma. And they have a nice grassy beach area there at their campground, and we put on a dinner. Lobster is the main course, although it's lobster or fillet, and we sell tickets to the event. And as you mentioned, last year we had 550 people there. This is by far the largest, but I guess its reputation is spread. People love being there. And it's in September, and we've had good weather,
it's a
which
beautiful,
makes it.
I mean, the venue is just outstanding, and I think that the vibe of the evening was exceptional. And I've been involved in a lot of big type of fundraising nights that I do in my business with the Boys and Girls Club, and I just really felt like this event, people were there for the right reasons, and people really enjoyed themselves and had a great band. And raise a lot of money, which is obviously the goal. And so with that money, we're then able to go out and complete our projects, or do scholarships for underprivileged kids, or help the Boys and Girls Club, or help high school clubs. I mean, I just think it really, one thing about Rotary that I really appreciate is the fact that, the $1 that we raise really gets spread out throughout the community in a good way.
Well, that's true. Our two biggest fundraisers, that one has come on, as I said, about in the last 7 years. The Bon Voyage Ball is one we've been doing now for quite a long time. Actually, it started the year before I was president. So when I was president, we were doing the second one. Okay. And
now, was the second one better than the first one, Mr. Mathews?
Absolutely.
Under your tutelage? Good.
Yes.
Excellent.
But I can't even remember it. But
well, we won't judge
I know
you.
it was successful.
I'm sure it was. So the Bon Voyage then is, what time of year is the Bon Voyage?
It's in March, sometime in March. It depends on the community. We have a very active community.
Yes, we do.
There are things going on all over Placerville, and so we have to get our events in there on the calendars so that we're not interfering with some other large event that's going on.
I am continually amazed with the amount of events that happen starting the second week of January, and pretty much every Saturday through up to Bon Voyage, there is something going on. So there is no doubt that this community likes to attend events and support events, and I think it's a good move for Rotary to be a part of those. So Bon Voyage this is about the 40th year, something like that, 42nd year.
Well, it's 35 years, I believe. But anyway, it's been going a while.
Apparently my math isn't great.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
So what happens at Bon Voyage? What's the deal with Bon Voyage?
Well, it's a dinner dance, and there's a little game of chance that goes on.
Okay.
We sell some tickets that during the evening the tickets are drawn. People are eliminated, and occasionally there's a winner announced. And so we make it a big fun thing. That so in between dancing and just socializing and camaraderie and having fun, the people. The idea is that people will go away feeling they've had a lot of fun, and a few people will have actually taken home a little more money than they came with.
Well, I always think that's a good policy. But, when you're throwing any type of event, you want people to leave happy.
Yep.
Right? And there's no doubt that occurs at the Bon Voyage. Let's kind of circle back a little bit. One thing I wanted to talk about was the four-way test. I really think that, and this is something that I talk about with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club all the time. One thing that's really drawn me to Rotary is just the simplistic nature and the very clear messaging of the four-way test. And so, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And so those things, if you think those and do those things, it really changes, I think, how you are as a person, and then your friends around you, and your family. And so, can you talk a little bit about that and how the four-way test has helped you, kind of in your life, and as a father and a husband and a businessman?
Well, that's pretty strong there, Sean.
I think it's.
I
have a lot of respect for you, Mr. Mathews.
Well, I know, and I think. Of course, the way you lead your life is important, and the four-way test is something that it's just part of, I think, the moral fiber of our beings, being honest and dealing with people properly. It's emphasized in Rotary,
right?
And dishonesty, being unfair, the opposite of the four-way test is not, it's frowned on.
Right.
And people who would espouse that are not going to get along very well in Rotary Club. But, I think you live that through your life, good things are going to come to you.
I can't agree more, Ed. I think that, being a part of our Rotary Club, I think like you said early on, it's a privilege, and I feel that same way.
Yeah.
I look forward to Thursday nights. I look forward to seeing the guys and the gals, and I think our next project, we always have stuff going on. We'll gear up for our next fundraiser, but we'll always look for ways to support not only locally, but we also do a lot with the polio, the fight to end polio across the world, and that's a big Rotary International emphasis. And so there's a lot going on in Rotary, Ed, and I appreciate you taking the time today and coming here and sharing with us.
Well,
anything that you want to close with as we end our episode of the Rotary Wheel?
Well, these things that we've talked about, the projects, they take coordination and they take involvement by all the members. And when one of the events is done and everybody has worked very hard, they've spent extra time, whether it's just moving chairs around or setting tables or being in charge of handling the food operations. We get everybody involved in that, and so you work as a team. That's, I think, one of the things I like about Rotary very much is the involvement of everybody, and I think I'm glad my son is a member. He enjoys it very much. He lives he lives in Placerville, but he works out of town, and,
right.
and he's got young kids, and it's difficult sometimes to attend meetings. But Rotary accommodates that kind of situation too.
Mm-hmm.
So it sure be nice if we could encourage more young people to join Rotary. We've got room for young folks in there. There's, I think, the enjoyment they can get out of being a Rotary member is something that they will appreciate, their family will appreciate, and it goes a long way towards helping them in their careers and in just enjoying a good life.
Well, I think that that's an excellent way to end our episode today. Is that we would love to have new members join us. There is definitely a need for us to reach out and serve more people and serve them more effectively, and we can do that with kind of an influx of some new blood. It's a great way to spend not only a night once a week, but then also with the projects and like Ed said earlier on, I really believe that the true benefit of Rotary is the friendships that you gain and those lasting friendships that really do last a lifetime. So with that, thank you very much, Mr. Mathews, for coming today.
My pleasure, Sean.
And I hope you have a good rest of your day and good luck on the golf course. And until next time, I'm Sean McCartney, and this was the Rotary Wheel.